Hey guys, it's me, Andrew, again here in Brisbane, Australia. It's been quite an amazing first semester. I've updated you a lot of what's been happening through our different students and how we've been growing as a ministry. I just kind of wanted to give you more updates about how I'm doing and what God is doing here, really in the hearts and in the minds of our students. Currently, one of the new things we have going on is an international ministry that we're working on Thursdays. And so I'm working with another gentleman from a different university, and we're coming together on Thursdays and really just catering to international students around the world that we find at Griffith. So currently right now we have about 5 to 6 different students that we're working with. We're trying to plug them into Bible studies as well as inviting them to bring their friends so that we can introduce the Christianity and what Jesus is to them. Already we've seen really God work in one of the guys called Wolf. He actually came to faith this past semester through a summer project. And now not only is he growing in his faith, but he's even really inviting his friends and telling his friends more about Jesus and who Jesus is and how he changed his life. And so I'm actually working with one of his friends he invited called Hong, who's from China. And he's agreed to go through John with me, the book of John. So really just amazing to see God work and not have a language or a culture be a barrier to the gospel. And so that's been quite an amazing thing. This past year or two we've seen quite a lot of a development in some of our students as we continue to train them and build them so that they can train others and build on others. And so currently right now we have 4 main students that are discipling and really taking an initiative in sharing their faith and meeting other students around their areas. And so it's been quite an encouraging thing to see God work through them and really them take responsibility and begin to become empowered for this ministry. And so I'm also working with a lot of a building group, what we like to call them, which would be students that we are training to become leaders for the future. And this group has just been such an encouragement to work with. They're very exciting, very passionate, and they're very community-oriented. And it's really great to see them love each other and love their classmates and love their peers. And so we're really seeing a great lot of things happen out of that.
Every week, there's about 25 of us that get together for the Tuesday night social. It's a chance to hang out, relax, and get to know each other better and see how people are doing throughout the week. Last semester we had one guy, Victor, who was loads of fun to have around, and this is his story when he was here.
I'm Victor, I'm from Germany, and I'm doing a study abroad program at Griffith Uni. One of the interesting things about student life here is that I learned to share my faith. One of the most exciting things here is that I could share my faith with my friend Jay, and he became a Christian after that.
Well, I have the privilege to be talking with the National Director of Campus Crusade for Christ Australia, Bill Hodgson here. And Bill, I was just wondering, what is the vision of Crusade in Australia for just reaching the lost here?
Yeah, Australia is an incredibly secular country, a secular culture. It's a free and open democracy, and it would say perhaps it's Christian, but really the average Australian really knows very little, has very little understanding of what it truly means to be a Christian or to have a relationship with Christ. I think about 20% have any real regular connection with a church, and about half of those, you could probably say at most, would be involved in evangelical churches, and probably a half to 2/3 of those might actually be able to share the gospel with others. So it's a small 5 to 10% really know what it means to know who Jesus is. So that means that you have a population that has a bit of a vague, they think they know what church and religion is about, but really they have totally no clue. Our vision in Australia is that we would see the non-churched people have the opportunity to hear and respond to the gospel presented in non-religious terms through the life of somebody who's truly following Jesus. And that as those people respond, they would be discipled and built up, that they can work into their networks, not to sort of run them back into the bubble called the church, but to help them to live out the mission of Christ in their networks, because that person will have a network of all these other people who have nobody in their life who goes to church.
And with so much that we need to go because we're just a small group, how can we really be, take heart and be encouraged about how God has been moving? What have been some ways that we've really seen that take place here in Australia?
Yeah, well, man, we're seeing non-church people come into Christ. We're seeing first-generation Christians on the campus or in neighbourhoods or wherever, not only just come into Christ, but really take the initiative then to want to share that good news with the people that they know and that they love. And many of our own Campus Crusade staff members came to Christ through the ministry. And so, you know, the workers for the harvest are out there in the harvest, you know. So there's lives being changed, there's movements that have started to gain ground and grow amongst the international students that come to this country and the many, many visitors that come and come to live here. Australia is so multicultural that you could pretty well touch every nation in the world by working in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane. You know, it's just such a mix. I call it the fruit salad country. It's got its own flavour, but it's bits of everything here. So it's a unique opportunity to be able to reach people from far countries, and then their networks go back into Vietnam, China, Cambodia, Kampuchea, Pakistan, India, you name it. They're resident here in communities.
So again, I appreciate you guys and your prayers and just the way that you have emailed me and encouraged me through all you've done. And so I continue to ask that you continue to lift this ministry up in your prayers, that you continue to see and pray that God will be moving here as well. And so I hope to see you in December. Hope to give a couple of you guys a call about future partnerships and support. But until then, God bless.